My cabbages!
Low, man.
Ah, my cabbages!
What is up, everybody? Good to see you guys here today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney over here in Asia, and this is another Somali episode. We're going to have some fun today. Hopefully, you guys are staying based. I appreciate all of you, and we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about some new developments in the case, him crashing out, some updates on prison labor, because I think some people need to be educated on that. A lot of people kind of misunderstanding what that actually means, what that is. So we'll get into that and make some clarifications out there for some people, and what happens if he doesn't do the labor. Some people ask that in the chat. I'll answer that question. And we'll also have new that's thanks to the Somali conviction team. Big ups to the Somali conviction team. They got us the actual document on sentencing, on the sex offender registration system, which once again, as part of his proposed sentencing, he's going to have to register for that. And how, if he messes up, he could end up in jail for even longer. That's right. More jail time potentially there for Somali if he doesn't do things right. And if he continues to try to play it like it's a game, try to not take it seriously, try to fight back against the system because he's so big brains. If he continues to try to do that, he's going to end up just in Korea longer and longer and longer. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to show you guys the actual document, the official Korean document from the Ministry of Justice. We're going to go through that today and have a good time here in the chat and with all you base chats. Thank you for the amazing support. We got Tank Rat coming in with 50 legal mindset memberships.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Thank you. And then King Lugia coming in here with 20 to start out the show. Thank you.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
We got Maniac 98022 as a new member. Welcome. Oh, it's the good stuff. 28 says, keep up the amazing work. You absolute legend. Oh, I will. And we've got a couple of Somali episodes coming up because there's another document that we need to go through that the judge is considering right now. So we're going to get into that on a future episode. But today we're going to focus on some of the stuff related to the consequences, penalties, and also him kind of withdrawing, crashing out, and essentially taking back any apology that he would have made in court. Rigo92 says, if he's crashing out, does that mean he's insane? Objection. No insanity plea for Johnny Somali. James L89416, and I'm gonna have to put some in the swear jar for this one. I'm gonna have to reload the ammo for the swear jar on this one because it's gonna get pretty serious. We're definitely swearing today. Thank you for the 5 legal mindset members. Yes. Smiller, member for 19 months, says, I got a fever and the prescription is more cabbages. We're going to talk about that real quick, by the way. Doug Diaz gifted 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you.
Emotional cabbage.
And Warranty Boy with a big 50 legal mindset memberships.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Oh, no, Johnny Somali not enjoying that. Mr. Tonkatsu, what's up, Ton? Good to see you, my brother over there. Ochan, appreciate you, or Ichan. We will hold Johnny in Korea as long as we can. I know. We're locking it down as long as we can. And you know, you were part of the helping for that. So thank you. Petrolhead 9198 for 10 says love justice being served. Oh, it is so sweet. Clothoth Melodian, member for 12 months, 1 year since my member birthday. Let's freaking go. Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And Sitstar Luchai, what's up, my brother? Says gifted 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I gotta email you my my shipping address in the future. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for that. And then we got Ashala, so excited for Cabbage from Canada. Hey, what's up? And Cuddy Trickster for 5 says, my mother always said that everyone has a reason for being on the planet. RK's reason is to set up an example of what not to do. That's right. By the way, for all those that have been waiting for a long time, we finally are here. I made the reveal on X, on YouTube. The cabbages are here. Cabbage plushie is finally done. Look at how cute and adorable this is. So on the 20th, this is going to be available for everybody, but we're doing a giveaway. Now, I think the giveaway may not be 100% live on the link yet. If you go to the link that's in the description, it's in the description. I also post on my X and other places. You can go to the giveaway. I think it's starting very, very soon here. Promotion starting in 2 days, so it's starting very soon. But you'll be able to go there and sign up to get one for free. So if you would like to sign up for the giveaway, we're going to be giving away 3 on YouTube, 3 on X, and 3 on my private locals community. So we'll be giving out some free Cabbage plushies finally, so you can throw the plushies like it's a misgift case. You can throw the plushies as much as you want at high speed. They're very adorable. El Eagle Takudachi for 50,000 Don said, you have many chances, Johnny boy, many chances to turn around and make it right, but you said no. Whatever comes next is your freaking deserve. So let's get this from Ving Ving for 10, and then let's get into what he started at and where he's at now, and kind of some of the clips to bring you guys up to speed. But thank you for that 10. You know, every single membership gives Johnny massive
emotional damage.
Massive emotional damage, and all of the haters emotional damage, because there's still people out there that low-key are supporting Johnny Somali. It's kind of odd. Jaffa Greg for 5 New Zealand says, sounds like you might need a few bot for the swear jar. A bit goes towards the Mudang headset. Hey, Mudang is now princess mode. In case you guys haven't seen, Mudang's got her nice princess crown here. That was congratulations to everybody who helped me out with that. Very nice there. I'm gonna try to get her some more new headgear as well. So she'll be nice and cute. Thank you. He deserves a minimum of 20 years in jail. Listen, I always said 2 to 5 because I'm a realist. But yes, did some people, did some people say, and the maximum cap was 12, right? Deserves 20, arguable. Deserves 30. Some people say deserve life. But for what he is there for, at least getting that, 2-3 years. I think that's very, very fair. But the fact is, once you see his behavior, and once you guys talking about Korea, and he's hoping that the judge is going to sentence him lightly, the judge is been, informed of a lot of his shenanigans, and the prosecutor's been informed of a lot of his shenanigans. This stuff has been getting back to them. And they've been, seeing a lot of this behavior and what he's doing and what he's calling them. And even after he goes into court, and even after he was there shaking and scared, he left that meeting shaken, scared, shook, nearly crying. He was broken, right? And he comes back and tries to talk tough because he knows he's spiraling right now because all of his hopes and dreams are shattered. So let me show you guys, and I'll get all the chats right here, but let me show you guys what Johnny Somali thought he was going to be doing after going to South Korea. So this is what Johnny Somali, this is from 2024, courtesy of Johnny Somali on X. This is what he thought he was going to be doing, right? So this plan ain't happening, right? Let's play it.
Now, what are some of your next plays? I don't know if you want to give away the game or anything, but
I'm going to Los Angeles to do a 30-day, 24/7 live stream. I'm going to I have a condo ready and already booked in LA.
He must have lost money on that condo. He already booked a condo in LA, and what happened with that? What happened with that? That's all gone. All that money's gone.
I'm going to put the address out public to IP2, to YouTube, to everybody, to Rumble. Anybody could walk into my condo at any time in Los Angeles with anything and just bring content. We're just going to do a 30-day social experience like Black Mirror, some fucking fish tank shit with Somali tank. I'm going to kick it off with doing the no jump. I'm going to kick it off with doing the no jumper interview with Adam.
Never happens.
Maybe do a porn scene with a Japanese girl and do some fucking World War II cosplay.
Never happens.
Shit popping on Twitter. And then 30 days, camera does not turn off with a cameraman live, HD, mic like this, quality up, Los Angeles, and just crash the fuck out. Then I'm going to do LA. I'm going to Austin to do some stand-up.
Not happening.
And then I'm doing to Miami, New York.
Not happening.
China, my nigga.
No China. No China for you, buddy. Now, maybe your roommate will be in China because he's going to leave you behind when you're in jail. But he will definitely not be doing any of those things. And that's part of why he's crashing out so hard, because all those big plans, all those big things, those are not happening anymore. That's all off the table, right? That's all 100% off the table because he's already been ruined that because he's been there for a year and a half. So all those plans did not play out. Big L 1861. Thank you very, very much for that. Appreciate that.
Emotional Cabbage.
Guys, if you received a gift membership today, because we've had a lot of them, please say thank you and appreciate those in the chat. There's going to be some members exclusive content coming up as well. So I'm going to have some videos that are just for members, some lives, and I'm actually going to have one pre-recorded video just for members. So all that's going to be coming very soon. Rocan Blow Blue says, Cabbage is for all. I'm just getting one no matter what. If I have to buy, so be it. Cabbage is a must. That's right. Thank you. Awesome. Korean Brewing Adventure, what's up, buddy? For 5,001 says, should I name the stout beer I'm submitting to the Korean homebrew Johnny Somali Prison Wine Stout? I mean, it's a good name, but prison wine? I mean, is it prison wine? I mean, that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. You know what? If you do it, I will. If you do it and you send me the picture or something like that, I'll pull it up and I'll show it on the stream. That'd be kind of awesome. Cold Kid says, so the dastardly dwarf gets taxed on tax day. I love it. That's right. April 15th. Peroro says, RKI getting in the gulag, and I'll be back in ACG events. Awesome. Ace Access, now Legal Minds is officially selling weapons of mass destruction. Plushies are banned by the Geneva Convention. And you even advocate for throwing them at someone. I know. I'm just a war criminal, like Emaru in the Miskiff case. Just an absolute war criminal. Peroro 2888 says, means in Japanese. Oh, cool. Nice. I like that. Patrick S 9022. What's up, brother? For 10 says, actually, let him go to China. That'd be the last time we ever hear from him. Yeah, you don't fuck around in China and you don't make any of these comments or do any of these things in China. They will absolutely 100% jump on you. Look what they did to Hassan for even Mao meme, right? You think they're going to tolerate Johnny Somali messing around or doing any antics? Absolutely not. No way, right? They would not tolerate that at all whatsoever. Larry Powers 2515 for 5 says, hopefully Johnny's cell buddy is a Korean version of Ben, Mr. Dover from Fletcher Lives. He's gonna be in jail. This is a spoiler for the PP because we're gonna have that coming out very soon. So the spoiler here is that he will be not in the foreigner prison. So there is a foreigner prison for just foreigners, right? So, and typically foreigners will go to that. Because of his offense and because it's with labor, he needs to go to a special labor prison, not the foreigner prison. So he will be in there with mostly Koreans, assuming, once again, we are assuming he is sentenced in line with the recommendations. Now, I'll talk about that when we get to that again, just giving a little bit of a reminder of what I think it'll be. But that would be where he would go. Jose Raul says we need to be worried about his backdoor in jail. Well, that's kind of his problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ving Fing says mega base now for all Australia. Thank you. I'll give you a little mega base. Let's drop a.
Hello, Beso Department.
That's everybody wherever you are in the world, Europe, America, wherever else. Okay, so let's get to the PP here and show you guys what's been going on. So here we go. We got the sentencing kind of spiral he's going on right now. So Ramsey Cletus Ismail, Johnny Somali, attempted to apologize and ask for leniency at the last trial. And the prosecutors recommended a strong sentencing recommendation, which scared him. It shook him. He was shook. He was scared. Now he's back to insulting Korea. And I'm only going to play like a minute and 30 seconds of this because there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of swearing, a lot of cursing, stuff like that, which you got to be careful for. But you can see how even after he asked for leniency, he's back attacking Korea, and he's got his sentencing coming up in less than a month now, right? Or about a month now. So he's got one more month now, and now he's crashing out. Now he's attacking. He's going full on attacking Korea after he said, "I'm sorry," and also I've integrated into Korean culture. If this is his idea of I've integrated into Korean culture, then I think the judge can safely not take anything that he said seriously. Fat Factor Creation for £5 says the plushies should probably have a warning. Do not throw them at short Italian streamers. Doing so may cause demon time. Or I'm not going to read it the way you spelled it, though. Uni PJSX for 10 New Zealand says we must release all the cabbages. That's right. That's right. And Hal says to the cabbage farm with him. Unfortunately, he may not be able to go there because of his offender status. So anyways, let's start with some Somali fake news. So I want to get out there because there's a lot of fake news. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of people that are weirdly defending Somali. He put up these videos on how I got the deep fake charge dropped. Nothing is absolutely dropped at all whatsoever. All the charges are on. All the charges are still there. So he was just out there, near the trial, after the trial, lying his ass off, trying to say he got out of any charges or whatever else. All the charges are there. So all the obstruction of business, the Minor Offenses Act, and the 2 deepfakes are all there. Now, one thing I do want to clarify, because a lot of people were confused by this, is the deepfakes were the same trial as the rest of the charges. Some people thought the deepfakes were a different trial. Maybe they were confused. No, it's all been the same trial. It's all been one trial going on at the same time. So nothing got dropped at all whatsoever. Zero. Everything is on the table for Johnny Somali. Nothing was removed from the indictments. Nothing was removed from the docket. It's all there. And a lot of this stuff, including the sentencing, was even confirmed by Bong Bong. Now, Bong Bong's a victim. She has access to the court records, right? Much like we do, right? And the Somali conviction team has been on top of everything. And, she confirmed, hey, the sentencing is 3 years. The charges are there. Like, that's all been confirmed. So everything is still locked in. Nothing has been dropped against him at all whatsoever. Mascot says release the cabbage. That's right. Alan Mack 63 says emotional damage from Scotland. I'll get you some emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Matt Larson said totally buying a cabbage plushie. They are so cute and they're very soft. I will say it's a very soft plushie. It's very soft, very cute, so cute. Love the cabbages. They eventually got him. Finally, I know. Jose Ruel said, "Can we trade him for new episodes of One Piece?" I was actually watching One Piece. It's one of the few live action animes I actually can tolerate. I think they're doing a decent job. I think it's a decent job. One Piece, the live action. It's all right. All right. So let's remind you guys of his apology, and then I'm going to show you how he took back this apology. So once again, this is not all of it, but this is the most important part. Johnny Somali said, this is her exact words: "I sincerely apologize for my actions in Korea. I express remorse for the incident for which I was charged. I have been held captive in Korea for 1.5 years, during which time I committed no crime, and learned to integrate into society during that time." This is what he said. Learn to integrate into society during that time. By the way, during which he committed no crimes, that is debatable. He actually has charges. He has a case filed against him for child sexual harassment, right? There's other potential crimes that if the police wanted to come against him, they could have during that time if they wanted to. There's other things he did during that time, right? But he did have papers filed on him for CHS or CSH, right? I did some foolish things under the influence of alcohol. I realized the consequences. I sincerely apologize for this. Having born and raised in the United States, I did not realize how serious the consequences of these actions. which would not have been considered criminal in the U.S., could be in Korea. So once again, the focus on the consequences. And now, and this is why I'm focusing on this, he is realizing the consequences. And if he keeps screwing around, there's going to be more consequences. I'm going to show you that today. There's even more consequences that can come down, including more jail time for him if he keeps messing around, if he wants to keep playing around. Larry Power said, we need an address, send Mudang hats from all over the world. We got a few I want to send. I have to figure out a shipping address that I can put out that's not my home address. So once I figure that out, I'll let you guys know. But that would be really, really cool. All right. So that was his apology in court. Now I'm going to play for you Johnny Somali. And this is him going off literally a couple days ago, right? Maybe this is, I think about less than a week ago, a week or so ago. This is him going off after the trial. So after the trials happen, he said this. Let me play this once again, courtesy of Johnny Somali on X. And I agree with you, Matt Davis. He did it precisely because
what's really pissing me off, chat? Let me tell you what's really pissing me off.
You're right.
I think Korea is one of the stupidest countries in the world. I think Korea is one of the most stupid countries in the world. I don't even think Korea is a first world country. I honestly think Korea is probably a second world country at best. They put on the mask and the plastic surgery. Majority of the here got plastic surgery. I think this country is a second world country at best, because how are you so stupid? A little black midget with a camera came here, crashed out. Y'all niggas are y'all forgetting that they put me on?
By the way, he definitely looks like he's in the bathroom here. Like 100% he looks like in the bathroom. I'm gonna let this play out before I comment, but this looks like he's streaming from a fucking bathroom.
The fucking Congress. This is a monkey brain people. Like, this is not like, bro, like, I'm telling you, if World War III pop off tomorrow, these niggas are cooked within 5 minutes. All these niggas know how to do is do plastic surgery, do makeup, and do a little dance like this. These niggas are not mentally strong. These niggas, a black dude came here with a selfie stick and a phone and shut down the whole country.
I'm gonna stop it right there. There's more. There's like more cursing, other stuff like that in that one. But you can see, obviously, just from that comment, from his going back to attacking Korea. This is after he's gone and said, "Hey, I apologize. Hey, I take this back. Hey, I've integrated." Now by the way, he's giving himself way too much credit, saying he shut down the country. He didn't shut down anything, right? He shut down. Sorry, I take that back. He shut down a ride. He shut down a ride at Lotte World. He got kicked out of a bus, right? He got kicked off of the subway, right? He didn't shut down the entire city, right? So that's all BS. That never actually happened, right? However, what he did do, right, was offend and attack and harass many different people. And not just an offense that was non-criminal. No, these are criminal offenses. You can't just go and do these things in almost any country. If you did that in the US, most of these should be trespassed, right? And a lot of these, especially the stuff you did involving children, if you're going and playing that stuff around children, you would definitely not do well. If you went to Disney World, if you went to Universal Studios and you were playing the same vile messages he was playing in English, yeah, you're going to get in some real trouble real fast, right? That is some absolute thinking he's still the main character and thinking that he's still out there. And once again, all this stuff, when I play it, when it comes out on my videos, people see it, people see this reaction, right? That gets out there. The Koreans translate it. That gets back. That gets around. Who knows? Maybe the prosecutor, maybe the judge see that information, right? So that's why it's important to say, look, this guy is not sorry. This guy is totally retracting what he said. That apology is gone, right? And what he is doing is going back and attacking the Korean people and attacking Korea right before his sentencing, at the time in which the smartest thing to do would be shut up. He said what he had to say in court, shut up, wait for the sentencing. And okay, if he gets a light sentence, then maybe he can, whatever, try to say, he try to brag, whatever. although he'll be going to jail, right? And that's the presumption here is, okay, maybe if he doesn't get 3 years, he gets 2 years, right? Maybe he considers that a win. I don't know. I consider that a win for Team Jail Somali. So that's a win there. But now's not the time to be talking right before your sentencing date. But I think for him, he may realize, no, I'm actually going, like this is going to happen. And therefore he's starting to spiral. He's starting to crash out. He's starting to go down that pipeline, right? Do you think this sentencing will make him reconsider his actions in the future? I'm guessing it won't. He's in too deep with his ways. I used to think it might, but based on the fact that even over the last year, he never even tried. He never even made a real effort to make it right with the real victims and actually say what I did was wrong. I should have never done that, right? I should have never done it. Not, I didn't realize the consequences. That's his apology. I didn't realize the consequences, right? It's not, I'm sorry for what I did to the victim because what I did to the victim was wrong and I should have never done that, right? I should have never done that to that victim. I should have never done that to that poor old lady. I never should have done to Bong Bong or to Youngman or to anyone else. Right? He never really did that. His fake settlement with Youngman was only because he thought he could get his charges dropped. Youngman, the male Korean streamer, he made a deep fake of him making out with Hank naked, right? He was only sorry about that because he was trying to get a deal. He didn't really actually care. He really didn't. So I think you need to show genuine remorse in Korea. And that's something I actually said from the beginning. If he actually listened from the beginning and said, hey, genuine remorse, genuine, sincere remorse, and changing your actions and taking steps to do that is the way out of this. He never did that, not even once. Rico 92% says real smooth brain take on his part. Yep. Yeah, Korea has problems. So does every major country. And the labor prison can't come soon enough. That's exactly right. Every country has problems. Do you think China doesn't have problems? Him and Hank are fangirling over China. You think China doesn't have problems? You haven't actually been to real China. There's a reason why a lot of Chinese people leave China and live in other countries, right? There's a real reason for that. There's a reason from why a lot of my friends, I have friends here from Hong Kong, why they relocated from Hong Kong after that kind of got taken over, right? There's big reasons for that. Ryobi said for $6.99 Canadian, this is the same tone when he'd apologized for the hurting Koreans' pride for tweaking on the little girl statue, only to turn around and attack everyone. And only after that to continue to threaten to go back and do it again. Jose Rules said, send him to Iran and let's see how it goes. That'd be funny. Hackford says, send this video to the prosecutors and the judge. They've already got a lot of information and we're going to go over what they've got because we've sent it's been submitted, right? Somali conviction team. Shout out to everybody on that team. And once again, you can support them over on my Ko-Fi. They did a great job sending everything in. So the judge and prosecutors have everything at this point. Real Campbell Blue says, I hope someone has given this to the court. And even there could be a supplement. It could happen. It could happen. Masgalau 1275 for 2000 IDR says, need to wash and clean my ear later after hearing Am I Now. AM Gameplay said, South Korea, could this video be used against him? They can consider it. I mean, once again, they can look at that and say, look, he doesn't show genuine remorse. He, in fact, retracted what he said and goes back into attacking Korea, attacking their Congress, attacking their people, making really racist statements, all that sort of stuff. Did Gino ever get out of jail in the Philippines? I don't know, but Gino, Vitaly, you mean? Vitaly got out of jail in the Philippines. Vitaly did. It's Boo Boo FFS for 25 things Polish. Zolta. I feel kind of sad for him effing up his life before 25. We humans aren't smartest at that age. Well, he's got to learn, and maybe he learns after a year or 2 or 3 in jail. Jill says, a stunning example of Dunning-Kruger effect in action. Those who don't know, it means being so stupid. You don't know you're stupid. That's exactly right. Garrett Griffin says, to paraphrase Ron White, Somali has the right to remain silent, not the ability. That's right. King Bob said the only sorry he is that he got charged. That's exactly right. And Ryobi said for $13.99 Canadian, didn't he come to his first trial late and drunk, acting like a clown in front of you and Atosi for shatting himself in court? That's right. He made a face at me and Atosi. He stuck his tongue out. He was looking over at me. He said not guilty to the fourth trial, only to plead guilty immediately on the next one. Yes. Every single trial, he was realizing as this trial went on, and this is everybody who was there saw this. I saw this. Everybody sees this. As it went on, he got more and more scared, right? And take it more seriously. At first, he showed up drunk and having swagger and stuff like that. By the time it's February, now he's finally taking it seriously. He's finally showing up early, right? For the first time. It's crazy. LeBron Gold, thank you for the $10 super sticker. MJ today is 3680 says the RKI circle of stupidity and crash out continues like before. Also, Moodang looks fabulous. She indeed does. She's looking great today. Thank you. Kettle Fire Charmer Hilton for 5 says Gino went to the Philippines a couple months ago and he got arrested there too. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't track that one as closely as Vitaly. I'd have to follow up on that. All right. So let's get back to what I want to get into with the sentence and then the labor. So a lot of people were confused by this. So I needed to go back and give like some reinforcement on this. So the sentence, once again, is 3 years with labor. Now, I never said the word hard labor. Some people put that word in my mouth or whatever else. I never said hard labor, although it is physical labor. So it's not soft labor, i.e. an office job. He's not going to prison and getting an office job or doing like, something where you're getting, back rubs and you're doing some sort of, TikTok dances or something like that. You're not doing that. You're doing like monotonous physical labor. Find anti-sex offender registration. That's very important. The sex offender registration is very important. We're going to get into that detail. So the judge recommendation will likely be a little bit below because typically they go a little bit lower. So I think 2 years is very fair. It's possible it could be 1 year, right? Could be 1 year, 2 years. 3 years is the max, but I think they're going to go under. So I'm guessing 2. That's the bet. And everyone I'm talking to in Korea, including people who are very, very, very familiar with the Korean legal process. And by the way, our team has talked with people that are former prosecutors. We've talked with people in the judicial system. So we've talked to and referenced with people that are deeply aware of how the Korean legal system works. So guessing 2 years is been kind of the general consensus from most people that are educated on this. Cryosite for 5 says, hypothetical, say it gets 2 years. Let's also say the CHS charges go forward, then he could get more for that. That could add more, up to 10. We'll see what that happens. If he, they want to tack on an extra year or 2, they could do that through the child sexual harassment cases, which is related to his behavior on Ome, where he was essentially soliciting minors, right? Good morning, Andrew. I hope you're doing well. Johnny is never going to learn his lesson. He has some kind of mental illness that prevents him from doing that. I know. And it's become more obvious that he thinks he's this main character, but he's going to be a main character on a prison arc. And he's going to have to serve his main character prison arc. The Shards family for 5 says, why do bartenders hate lawyers? They always get on the bar. That's nice. Jose Raul says, registering as a SO in the U.S. will destroy him. He's going to have to do that as part of the procedure. That would be under SORNA. That looks like that's what he's got to do. Trimtuous for 5 Canadian says, if just a single word sorry was enough, we wouldn't need police or judges. Even to get release on parole, you need actual sincerity, not a magic word. And that's the key. He's never had that. A last one here from Yobi, and we'll keep going. For $6.99 Canadian. Oh, and he chased and harassed Nana, a Japanese kick streamer, live. She pressed charges on him in Seoul while waiting the second trial. That's right. Now, that one, I believe, was just a fine, and they handled that as a fine. But that was something he did do. He went out there and harassed her and harassed other foreign girls. And the sad thing is, even some of the foreign girls, one of the people contacted me and was like, I was this person. I just already left the country. So I didn't want to, it was kind of too late to file. So they're trying to figure out how to do that from abroad. But it's kind of something in Korea where you have to kind of do it when you're there. It's best if you have a criminal interaction in Korea to do it right on the spot instead of trying to do it from abroad or trying to go to the embassy or something like that. That's just not usually going to work out. Emotional damage from England. Thank you very much.
Emotional damage.
So let's clear up a little bit of this about prison labor. So a lot of the people out there, and there's a lot of nitpickers on the internet that, I don't know, they're really weird and they want to try to be right about everything. They were trying to pretend that I was saying that Johnny Somali was going to be sent to North Korea and be in a chain gang or going to be whipped like it's Django or something like that. I never said that at all. I've said he's going to be there with labor, which means a physical labor job. Now, this is very important because the labor prison is not the foreigner prison. So he doesn't get to go with foreigners. And the foreigner prison is actually kind of nice So the foreigner prison is one where they have like activities for them. They have like, oh, you can learn Korean, you can study K-pop and K-culture, you can do these like fun foreigner activities. They have like more, it's more cushy, it's more soft, right? The Korean prison is way more serious. And the one that he's going to is a labor-specific prison. So it's one for prison labor because they have to do it within those facilities. So it's kind of like a factory. And the prison is like the factory. So they have those facilities all set up in the prison. So he doesn't have to go anywhere. He's just doing labor in that prison. And so he's going to be jailed mostly with Koreans. So as a sex offender, registered sex offender, he can't interact with non-criminals, meaning he's got to do factory labor like making fish cakes, odang, or making license plates, right? Something monotonous. It may not necessarily be strenuous, right? It may just be monotonous, boring factory work, right? I never said it's going to be human rights violations or something like that, but he's going to be there doing that work. He's going to be doing that labor. He might be cleaning the prison toilets, stuff like that. That's also on the block. Agricultural or outside work may be off the table because he's a sex offender. So maybe he will not have the joy of the cabbages because the cabbages are indeed joy. Now, people have been asking, what happens if he doesn't do the work? So I did research that. If he doesn't do the work, here's what's going to happen. They're going to do one of several things. They're going to take away his privileges. Like, for example, there's like a store, right? Like where you can buy a little stuff, right? They're going to take away the privilege to use that, right? And they're going to take away other privileges that you would have within the system. So saying, okay, you can't do this. There's some we're going to cut back on your recreational time. And then they would put you in solitary. So it escalates to solitary. So he would eventually end up in solitary confinement. If he wants to go all the way and push it and say, I'm not going to do it, he's going to end up in solitary. So if he wants to keep pushing it and not do the work, he's going to end up in solitary confinement. No waterboarding, I see you in the chat, right? But definitely not fun to be shoved in solitary. Mazrova Palma, we're 20 legal mindset memberships.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Thank you to Mazrova Palma, Warranty Void, Take Ratty. We dropping the big ones today. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that, and say thank you if you received a membership to Mazrova Palma or anyone else in the chat who gifted those memberships. Rare and Recruit 3150 for $4.99 says, shout out to Fritanga Plays. Can we get a Suffer Johnny? I got you, Suffer Johnny, from my boy with some real feel behind it. RKI got rational common sense instincts of a buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Suffer Johnny. All right, there we go. Thank you. Rigo 10 says, we got this up in an early Arcade stream, but now when it looks like he won't go to a foreigner's prison, how do you say the booty is mine, it belongs to me, you cannot take my booty in Korean? I'm gonna have to go to my Korean friends to ask them how to say you cannot take my booty in Korean. Patrick S says, so the SO charge goes through, and remember the SO charge as a sex offense is the deep fake. So deep fake is a sexual crime. That's why it goes on the list for that. Will he get put into another block like they do over here, or will they put him in Gen Pop? That's a good question. I believe he'll be still put in with the other prisoners. The restriction is mainly with the non-criminals. They try to keep those away from non-criminals, so he'll be there with the other criminals. But that they'll have to look into that. Maybe they will put him in a special wing. I'll clarify that one. Scorpio Black Dragon for 29 says, watching that video, I somehow thought of the Indiana Jones dinner scene with Johnny being served as a chilled dessert. Cringy. Need that shipping address. She needs a Razorback hat. Oh, that'd be cool. Mike Turner for 10 says, RKI needs to show some gratitude for getting at least 2 years of housing. Well, it's from Hank, from Hanky Poo. Enjoy that new lead roll in a cage, Johnny. Well, sorry. He got about 2 years of housing from Hanky Poo, right? And then he's going to get 2 years of housing from Korea, right? From Korea, which this is why they don't put you in jail before, is because they don't want to pay for it, right? They don't want to pay for it. Big L dropping 50 legal mindset memberships. You know Johnny is going to be big mad about that.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Thank you so much for that, Big L, and say thank you to Big L in the chat. Higa gifting 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much for that.
Emotional cabbage.
Sarcasto 78 says, can Hank visit Johnny in prison? Do they allow those types of visits? Not conjugal visits, so he's not going to get a conjugal visit from Hank, but you can. There are certain times, and there's been other people I've talked to on the Somali conviction team that have actually gone and visited people in jail, and there are certain times where you can visit with people. So there are certain windows of opportunity to do it, right? Whether or not Johnny will be allowed to do that, or whether or not he'll be restricted from that at his labor prison. I'll do a little bit more confirmation just to make sure. It is possible that Johnny Somali could get some visitors, but there's not going to be any filming of that, right? So that's one thing that's not going to happen. There's not going to be like a prison interview with him because they don't allow that in Korea. So you're not going to get like Johnny Somali doing prison interviews. That's not going to happen. Punta del Este for 427 for 5,000 won says, will Somali be kicked out immediately after his prison term ends? Yes. I'd rather not have this trash linger any longer in my country. Yes. As soon as he is done, he is deported. He goes to Incheon Airport. He's on a plane out. They don't keep him there. He's not allowed to stay there like any longer than that. He's just immediately deported. Mazrova Palma for 50 legal mindset members.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Loving it. But what Johnny won't be loving is prison food. And thank you, Mr. Palma. Please say thank you if you receive those memberships. But guys, just so you know, this is Korean prison food. So it's not necessarily now it's not the worst out there in the world, right? It's not horrible, but you're getting Korean style food, right? And you're getting Korean style food. You're getting rice. They're not starving you, right? But you're getting Korean style food. That's all you're getting, right? So there's not going to be any sort of steak. There's not going to be any sort of, Western food. He's going to be eating only Korean food. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You're not going to die, right? And they might even actually be decent, right? Might even be good. Maybe the soup's really good. Like a middle school lunch. Yeah. That's the type of food you're getting, but he's going to be real used to getting kimchi. He's going to be real used to eating Korean food. No pizza, no nothing else. So Johnny Somali should stock up. He should be eating as much, McDonald's or whatever he wants now, because he's not going to be eating that very shortly. Cube 3Y467 for 10 legal mindset memberships. Thank you. Yes. Appreciate that. Very based. Ruby said a worse punishment could be involuntary voluntary employment at Nichi Sanji, where all he gets is 1 or 2% of the profits and forced Japanese work ethics. He would not be able to take that. Alex Chung, 3130, says for 10, I really can't wait to see RKI end up behind bars. I'm really very enjoying to watch your stream, Mr. Andrew, from Taiwan. Going back to Taiwan in May, traveled to Japan and Korea in June. Awesome. Well, all great countries, amazing places to visit, places I love. And the reason why I started this coverage in the first place is because I lived in Korea. I love Korea. Love that country. I love the people there. And I hate to see people doing what they do like RKI in those countries. So we're going to get into now the document, this is new. I have not showed this before on my channel yet, about the actual sex offender system. So that's gonna come out right here. Hold on. So, and I'm going a little longer, so I thought I might finish this quicker, but we're going longer here. So here's the sex offender registration system. This is an official document from the Ministry of Justice. A lot of people like to doubt some of these sources, but this is one you can get from the MOJ. You see the Republic of Korea tag. Here's the sex offender system. So I'm going to walk through how he can get in some trouble here. So what is sex offender registration? So, and I'll go in the corner here. Here we go. So registering the personal information of offenders who have been convicted of sex crimes, making it available for the prevention and investigation of sex offenses. Now, this is even better because guess what? after he registers as a sex offender, they may take the child sexual harassment charge more seriously, and they may end up going forward with that because he's now in the system as a sex offender. So they're like, oh, it makes sense. Let's go ahead on these other charges. So that is something that could happen. And notifying the registered information to the general public. So everybody will know, and we will get that information out there for you guys, that he is an offender, right? Everybody will know. It's mandatory for individuals convicted of sex crimes. The notification is determined by the court upon a verdict of a sex crime case. So after the judgment becomes final, which will be in April, within 14 days, they must after that, the offender must submit their personal information to the police station within 30 days from the final verdict. So you've got to submit your information to police. Okay. And then the police forwards it to the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice puts it in the system. The notification of the registration is conducted through KICS. Registration information of the offender who received a disclosure is transmitted to the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. And then the information is provided to investigative agencies when necessary for the prevention and investigation of sex crimes. So he may be investigated more after this. After this verdict, they're going to have more reason to investigate him for child sexual harassment because he's in the system now. He's registered. He's part of that. So they may take that more seriously afterwards. But here's an important thing. Registration period varies. So this is how long you're in the system. So, okay, here we go. The duty is to register 30 days, right? If they're detained in a correctional facility, the information should be submitted to the correctional facility. So whether it's the police or the prison, you've got to submit your name, your resident registration number, your actual place of residence, your occupation, work, contact, physical build description, photograph, criminal record, information on your sex crimes, previous sex crimes convictions, electric monitoring device status, sentencing or court. You've got to do all of these things. Now, what happens if Johnny doesn't do these things? What happened if Johnny, who's been talking smack and saying, I'm going to fight Korea, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to, screw these guys, they're third world. Well, guess what? If he decides to fight this and he does not submit his information, he can get up to another year in jail. So if he fails to do this properly, if he fails to actually go and put in all of his information and get in the system, he gets another year in jail and a fine up to 5 million won, right? So he's already got more consequences if he wants to fight it, if he wants to not do this, if he wants to pretend that he's going to win, whatever else. He doesn't want to disclose this because let's say Johnny's like, I don't want to do this because he knows he'll be a U.S. sex offender. He'll have to report it in the U.S. under SORNA, right? So he says, oh, I'm going to fight this. I don't want to do this. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in deep fake charges. I don't believe in any of this. Okay, well, you might get another year in jail. So let's see you fight it. Let's see you not do it. Let's say you fight the system, Johnny, and suffer the consequences of another potential year in jail. So that's a brand new information. I hadn't talked about that pretty much anywhere. And the fact that we've got now, once again, another year in jail that could happen, right? It's just great. It's just fantastic. Let me get some of these comments here. Lamia 197 for 10,000 won says, I just had a funny scenario where RKI meets a Korean booty warrior in prison. He likes him. He wants him. He can do it the hard way or the easy way. The choice is his. Oh, that's great. Great episode of Boondocks. Northern Lupine 123 was a new member. Thank you. The Puffing Yank for 5 says, question is there a pool for while he is incarcerated, how long it takes Ramsey to get the ever-living crap beat out of him? He's in there with all Koreans. So he's not in there with Chinese. He's not in there with Americans. He's not in there with anybody else. He's in there with Koreans. And yes, not every Korean knows about Johnny Somali, but some of them do. Mazuro Palma for 200 Czech krona. So is there a possibility to send a hat for Mudang? I later started crochet hats to pile up. I will get on it to get an address to send for hats for Mudang. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. Once again, you don't want to dox your home address, but I'll figure out a way to send hats to somebody that maybe has a shop or something like that and can hold them for me and get them to me. Fallout Boy 1980 for 199 super sticker. Thank you so much. Punta del Este said, I'm hoping our government gives him a persona non grata status. There's possible consequences on the U.S. end for sure. I mean, I think registering as an offender is a pretty big consequence. Cuddy Trickster for 5 says, could he fight it once he gets stateside because we don't have deepfake laws here in the States? He can argue that. But he's got to go to court and argue that, or he's got to put that on him because otherwise, he's presumptively should register. And the local authorities can file on him and put him in jail if he fails to register, right? Because he should be registering when he comes back. Germ 70 for 5 says, Johnny may as well fight the SO charges. What does he have to lose? His reputation, his career, his friends and family. Keep fighting, Johnny. Oh, yeah, that's more content for me. I'm happy if he does that. Graham Sodal 5442 for £5 says, what are the betting odds that Johnny tries something stupid from inside prison and gets his sentence extended? I think he's going to be tame in prison because there's no cameras. Johnny Somali's real thing is he does it for the camera. It's all an act for the camera. It's all a tough guy act for the camera. It's all, him hamming up for the camera. When you see him in reality, he's broken. He's shattered. He's scared. So all that tough guy act, it's just a camera thing. So I think that in jail, he's going to keep his head down because he's the camera's off. Abari Loose for 666 says you need to make an animation for your streams with the Booty Warrior from Boondocks talking to Johnny. That would be good, except for I'd probably get copyright claimed. Larry Powers 2515 for 5 says Johnny and Hank pressing hands against the plexi gates to the song The Crying Game. Let's be honest, how many calories does Johnny need? Probably not many. And he's probably not eating that well now either. Will he get bulgogi in prison? Probably not. You're not going to get a lot of like the he's not going to get like Korean beef. He's not going to get all this other like really high end food, right? They may give him bulgogi, but usually it's soup and rice and some sides, like soup, rice, and side dishes. It's not like you're going to get like pure some gyopsa or something like that, like the nice meat cuts or the galbi. Like he's not getting like a LA galbi or something like that, or even dak galbi. He's not getting any of that. QB says, if RKI gets more charges while serving time in prison, would they extend his sentence or just add a fine? It depends on what he does. So if he did something, for example, violent, then they would potentially add time to it. But if he's just like disobeying or something else like that, they'd probably take away his privileges and toss him in solitary confinement first before they would go to other matters. Hagfish says, RKI has unlocked the infinite South Korean prison glitch. Get up our Charm Hills. What happens if Johnny tries to ditch the guilty verdict trial and the offenses in the previous court cases against the judge and the court gets brought up? Well, what do you mean ditch the trial? You mean if he doesn't show up, they're going to go get him at a certain point. He can't, like, if he just doesn't show up at the trial, and the sentencing may still happen regardless. It does happen in certain cases where, even if they don't show up, they get sentenced. But they'll probably just go get him at a certain point if he doesn't show up. But in the offenses in the previous court cases against the judge, what I can say is what we've got here, and let me go back. We've got 8 charges here. 8. So this is everything he's facing. If something is not on this list, then either the prosecutors decided it wasn't good enough to bring, or they're based on the evidence that they have, or they're not going to, they're ultimately not going to bring it, right? Samuel Robinson 1150 for 20 says, I have nothing positive to say about Ramsey Cleat Ismail except good luck with the cabbages. No, my cabbages. That's right. Inhuman condition says, what about him crying and pretending to be sick or suicidal? No chance he could snivel his way out early? No, they're not going to get him out because he says he's suicidal or he's sick. What they'll do is if he's sick, they'll take him to a doctor. If he says suicidal, they'll give him meds, or they'll put him in a psych ward. And you don't want to be in a Korean or Japanese psych ward, especially a prison psych ward, right? That's probably worse than being in the normal jail cell, right? Dignity R for €6 says, if they do choose to charge him for the sex crimes, would there be a case for child sexual harassment, you mean? Would there be a case after released? He might have to stay longer to fight the new charge? Yes. So what they would do is he'd be in prison. So he's in prison. He's wearing his prison jumpsuit. And they would try him for that. And so every trial day, he would be brought in his prison jumpsuit to the court. He would be there for that trial. It'd probably take just as long, probably take, 4, 5, 6 months. They go through all of that and do another trial. It's in a different judicial district. So that different district still has that discretion to go forward with that or not. How does PJ get handled when it comes to RKI? PJ, you mean like personal jurisdiction? Like for Korea or United States? Like, for example, if you meant like PJ is in personal jurisdiction in the United States, like, so when he comes back to the United States, wherever he goes to live and stay, that's where he's supposed to register as a sex offender. And that's the place that would have the jurisdiction over him. So wherever he goes to stay in the US after he goes back, right, when he gets deported, because that's the only place he can be deported to is to the US. He gets deported to the US, comes back, stays somewhere, that's where you'd have to register. That's the place with jurisdiction over him. Does he have any chance of fleeing to the U.S. embassy and getting out? No, hell no. That's not going to happen. All this whole Trump is going to save me stuff, that was never going to happen. That was never real. There was no action on that. And the way we talked about this on the channel, the way we knew that wasn't real is even in Vitaly's case, the U.S. embassy commented on Vitaly. They never said anything on Johnny Somali. They commented on Vitaly and said nothing on Somali. That's how bad it is. Because they literally, nobody wants anything to do with this guy. No one wants anything to do with this guy, which was why that was never a realistic thing. And they were never going to save him or, have him claim some sort of like political persecution, something like that. That was never going to happen. They were always going to kick him out and send him on his way. At the best, they would give you a list of lawyers to contact. That's what they do. Fat Factor Creation for £5 says he won't get beef bulgogi inside, but he'll probably have to give dirty bacon. Oof. Eric Newton 564 remember for 3 months, very based. Johnny Somali is the graphic description of the expression shooting yourself in the foot. How could he be this dumb? He continues to prove it every day. And I guarantee you guys, he's going to do some dumb stuff before his final sentencing day. I think he knows his reckoning is coming. I think he's spiraling right now. I think he's going to lash out. I think he's going to see this video and rage and do some crazy stuff because it's his last little bit of freedom. So he's got 30 days to, go crazy. Louis Colley, 8617 for $5 says prisoners with SO charges in the U.S. don't do well in prison. Same in Korean prison. I can't say for sure, but I imagine if you tell people you have that charge, it is not going to go well for you, or if they find out, right? They're probably not going to be fans of that. Just Bro for $5 says, considering how much you drink, he may need some medical care to go through detox, and is still drinking a lot. So anyways, the sentencing is on April 15, 2026. I know some people out there are pretending this isn't the last trial. This is the last trial. It is over on April 15th. It's done. Now, he could appeal the trial. But that's a different trial. That's an appellate trial. It starts kind of a new trial, an appeal trial. So this trial, the trial court trial, is done on April 15th. If he wants to appeal this, that will be another process with a new judge, a different process that will be more than a month away. The appeal will take a very long time, right? Appeals are very slow, right? Very, very, very slow. So he can't appeal it, but this is the last date. He gets sentenced and it's over, right? It's Somali over. And the judge, it was very funny that the judge ignored his wish for a quick procedure in 2 weeks instead of for 2 months. Absolutely freaking hilarious. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be putting out some information on the motion that was filed to consider, not having any mercy on Johnny Somali. That's one that was put in there, and kind of all the other filings that the Somali conviction team did. We mentioned them. I brought them up in brief, but we're going to go over that in more detail on a future stream because that's something the judge is considering right now, and that's something they're looking at right now. So that's going to be coming up very, very soon. Once again, Cabbages, March 20th, they're dropping. Giveaway is in the link. It opens in a little bit. I think they got the timing of that a little bit off, but you can click on that link in a day or two and you'll get there to sign up for that. You can also go to X. You can also go to my locals as well and get yourself some cabbages very soon. Allison Brown 1164 for 10 says, is this where we find out if he's found guilty for the deepfakes? Do they combine them with sentence? Yes, it's one trial, Allison. The deepfakes are and every other crime are all one big trial. So all of what he did, Allison, let me pull this up for you. Everything, all the obstruction of business charges here, all of the Minor Offenses Act and the deepfakes, it's one sentencing for everything. Now, he's already pled guilty for these. He pled not guilty for these. So we do find out whether or not the judge finds him guilty. Spoiler alert, the judge is going to find him guilty, okay? The judge is 100% going to find him guilty on those charges. So he's going to be guilty of those charges, right? The only question is, how much is he going to be sentenced for, right? Anthony 239 for 5 says, nice legal mindset, PP. Thank you very much. Viz Raptor says, were you there for the sentencing? I'm going to leave that up to surprise. I'm going to leave that up to as a surprise. Special mindset surprise. It's possible I will be there for the sentencing. So, yeah, that's what we got here. But also, regardless, I will be covering it live, right? So I'm going to have some live coverage. We're going to have live updates. It's going to be great. Somali conviction team will all be there as well. So it's going to be some very fun stuff, some very good stuff. All right, guys. Let me get this last one here. Cube says for 5, RK is probably thinking that a canoe to China plan was looking good right now. He would not escape the bay. Those waters are so crazy strong. He would not survive. Like he would be ended by that for sure. Kooky Pookie says for 2, thanks for reporting. No, thank you guys. And will he be jailed for an appeal? Yes, you remain in jail for the appeal. That is correct for $4.99. Thank you. You are in jail. You appeal from jail. That's the glorious part. All right, guys, take care. Stay based. And we all know Johnny is coping and seething.
You are coping and seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is all day. And now you are more than you.